Afternoon. Let's continue the conversation with Chintan Mehta, the metal analyst at Sunidhi Securities. Chintan, what's your expectation? Was the rise in iron ore and global steel prices a flash in the pan? Do you see it receding?
Good afternoon, Lata. Regarding iron ore, there are two phases to it. When we begin in February, it was around $44 odd. And the quite movement was expected due to a couple of reasons. The Chinese were resuming the market after lunar holidays. February, mostly the month of construction activity in China, followed by a supply disruption in Australia due to at their ports. So some kind of upward movement was expected in iron ore. No one can rule out that. And toward the end of February, we saw iron ore touching 52. But the Monday surge of 20% was out of the blues, and there is no fundamental reason to support those data, because even the best case scenario for iron ore demand, if we assume the overall steel production in the world even increases by 2%, 3%, still there is an excess of around 100 million odd tons for FY16 for calendar year 16 is concerned for iron ore. So right. The case is not viable for this kind of upsurge.
All right. Hi, Chintan. Thanks so much for joining in this afternoon. But what's your take about domestic prices? Do you expect it to sustain? We have seen a bit of an increase. The Steel Secretary confirmed that yesterday as well. Do you expect prices to sustain at this 10% increase we've seen the last 1 month? And also, what would you play, ferrous or non-ferrous?
Yeah, Nigel, see, I would like to break this into two parts. When we say the consumption as the demand has increased, what really actually happened at the ground level is that the buyers or the traders or the consumers actually are trying to get that stock available at the old prices. The inventories which they were trying to delay it for a month or so, they've already. So when we talk to ground players, the volumes on that front, whereas the new orders which the new prices which the steel companies are quoting around 34, 35 for HRC, the traders and the consumers are asking for a discount of 500 to 1,000 rupees. But nonetheless, the import is not at all feasible at these prices. So I guess the user industry has to go with this. And what we expect is that the real test will be seen in April and May, when those users industry will use the inventory, earlier inventory, and how do they consume this newer products, new prices. That will be a thing to play. So reduction in prices doesn't look a scenario. But
right. I get your point.
1,000 looks on the card.
Okay, thanks for that. Any buys in the steel metal space? Any shares?
Yeah, we'll prefer JSW Steel in the whole ferrous space, for the simple reason that they're the most vulnerable to the steel prices are concerned. They have reduced the exports. It's completely domestic focus. So, and the debt level is quite manageable for all the concerned peers are concerned, compared to Tata Steel. So, JSW Steel remains the preferred stock.
Right. All right.